that job, and I clung to that job. 10 years in a place without heat, 6 years at a job I felt stuck in. Maybe I was afraid of change. Are you? When I was 29, I told myself, the next acting job I get, no matter what it pays, I will, from now on, for better or worse, be a working actor. And now I didn't have either the internet or a cell phone or a job. But something good happened. I got a low-paying theater job in a play called Imperfect Love, which led to a film called 13 Moons with the same writer, which led to other roles, which led to other roles. And I've worked as an actor ever since. I didn't know that would happen. At 29, walking away from data processing, I was terrified. But this made me very hungry, literally. I couldn't be lazy. Now, I tell this story because the world might say you are not allowed to yet. Please, don't even bother asking. Don't bother telling the world you are ready. Show it. Do it. Trust me. A rhythm sets in. Just try not to wait until, like me, you're 29 before you find it. And if you are, that's fine too. Some of us never find it. But you will. I promise you. Raise the rest of your life to meet you. Don't search for defining moments, because they will never come. The moments that define you have already happened, and they will already happen again. Don't wait until they tell you you are ready. Get in there. I waited a long time out in the world before I gave myself permission to fail. What did Beckett say? Ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better. The world is yours. Treat everyone kindly and light up the night.
You know, it's always a little bit frustrating to me when people have a negative relationship with failure. Failure is a massive part of being able to be successful. You have to get comfortable with failure. You have to actually seek failure. Failure is where all of the lessons are. You know, when you go to the gym and you work out, you're actually seeking failure. You want to take your muscles to the point where you get to failure, because that's where the adaptation is. That's where growth is. Successful people fail a lot. They fail a whole lot more than they succeed, but they extract the lessons from the failure, and they use that, the energy, and they use the wisdom to come around to the next phase of success. You gotta take a shot. You have to live at the edge of your capabilities. You gotta live where you're almost certain you're gonna fail. That's the reason for practice. Practice is controlled failure. You're getting to your limit, getting to your limit, getting to your limit. You can't lift that, you can't do that, until you get to the point that all of a sudden your body makes the adjustment, and then you can do it. Failure actually helps you to recognize the areas where you need to evolve. So fail early, fail often, fail forward.
Like a hangover, neither triumphs nor disasters last forever. You know, they both pass, and a new day arrives. So you just try to make that new day count. So, to help you along the way, I'm going to share a few rules that I've picked up during my life of disasters and triumphs. I call them Helen's top 5 rules for a happy life. Rule number 1, don't be in a rush to get married. You know, I married my husband Taylor a lot later in my life, and it's worked out great. And always give your partner the freedom and support to achieve their ambitions. Number 2, treat people just like people. A long, long time ago, an actress friend of mine did the most simple thing and taught me a huge lesson. We were in the back seat of a car being driven to the location where we were filming, and she was a smoker. In those prehistoric days when you could smoke in the car. And she got out her cigarettes, and before she lit up, she offered the driver one. So simple, you know, but thoughtful. To her, he wasn't a driver person, but a person. A person who might want to smoke. Today, she'd probably be arrested for attempted murder, but that's a lesson I never forgot, and I am grateful to my actress friend to this day. So remember that every single person, whether they have dominion over your life or not, deserves equal respect and generosity. Number 3, ignore anyone who judges the way you look, especially if he or she is some anonymous creep lurking on the internet. And if you are that person lurking on the internet, stop it. Just stop it. Go outside, do something. Weed the garden. Number 4, don't be afraid of fear. These words bring me back to my high school and our headmistress. And she said these words to me the moment I walked into her office as a trembling 11-year-old about to enter high school. I'll never forget the words of that headmistress. She said, don't be afraid of fear. I think what she meant was, don't let fear rule you. Now, sometimes it's wise to be afraid, like when you're about to take a dive into a pool with not enough water in it, or drive drunk. Moments like that, be afraid. Be very afraid and absolutely do not do it. But for the moments when you're challenged by other fears, like, oh, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Will I fail? Throw caution to the winds. Look fear straight away in its ugly face and barge forward. And when you get past it, turn around, give it a good swift kick in the ass. And rule number 5 for a happy life. Don't overcomplicate things. You can navigate each day just by following some very practical advice that I'm going to give you right now. A few do's and don'ts, okay? Don't put hot cups on waxed wooden surfaces. In fact, don't wax wooden surfaces. As Paulie said, don't procrastinate. Do say thank you when it's merited. Don't procrastinate, especially when saying thank you when it's merited. Don't lose your sense of humor. I know I'm safe with that one because you're here, you're in Tulane. You guys have got a sense of humor. Do confront bullies. Don't procrastinate. Do open your heart to love. Don't confuse sex with love. You know, love generally lasts longer than 2 minutes. Don't smoke tobacco or chew it. And I'm going to say it again, don't dive into water if you don't know how deep it is. And one more thing, listen to your instinct. Grab the opportunity when it presents itself, and then give it your all.
You know, as we come to the end of this phase of our life, we find ourselves trying to remember the good times and trying to forget the bad times. And we find ourselves thinking about the future. We start to worry, thinking, what am I going to do? Where am I going to be in 10 years? But I say to you, hey, look at me. Please, don't worry so much. Because in the end, none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky when the stars are strung across the velvety night. And when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day. make a wish. Think of me. And make your life spectacular. I know I did.